£10 per month of subscription.
Yeah.
That would be reimbursed for our loyalty. I hope that person is comped at a restaurant with a glass of water for a lousy meal. Seriously, ZeniMax, you can do us better. I do not believe that the new pay store will be enough to lift the bottom line enough to make a smashing success to the company. ZeniMax is only filling in one part of the profitability equation with warm bodies, and only solid gameplay and an outstanding environment will help do the rest. On the lighter side, a special alpha character should be appended to the beginning of all non-sub players' names so they can be easily identified in Cyrodiil. Glad you are sticking around. Lots to talk about now and to see if this works for the game. From Winged Moose. I'm glad you were pointing out those abbreviations because I had no idea what
When
they
I
were.
first saw it, I'm like, what is that? Oh, I get it. Okay. I did want to hit up on this because there are a couple things I like the idea, and other games have done this. Aloha, you'll be able to back me up on this one. Arcage, if you're a patron or you pay the sub, you actually get, well, you get in before other people if the world's full.
Yes. Yes, indeed, it's true. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea for Cyrodiil to encourage subscription play. Is that if you're subbed, you can get into Cyrodiil. You have priority access. I think that's a great idea.
I don't know, to be honest. What would be a great idea is that there is no queue to enter in Cyrodiil, which I have never known. But while it's fair or kind of, it's feel very dirty. It's really unpleasant. It's really not pleasant, and that was something that felt insulting. While even if you understand it, but to have been the one that didn't have the subscription at Arcade launch, when you see everyone passing the queue and you never go in the queue. You never go. You stay in the queue during 12 hours because everyone is going in and not you. And while it's fair because they have pay a sub fee, so it would be unfair that they are removed from the queue because there's all those free players that there. But still, the system feel really bad and ugly. I would prefer they make a different campaign in that case. That will feel a bit less ugly, like you're the peasant or the I don't know. It's just like
I completely disagree with you. I think it's a great idea. I mean, it gives a PvPer a reason to sub. If they,
PvPers really have no reason to sub.
No, you have zero reason. And supply and demand's a good thing. Having people wait in line for Apple iPhones surprisingly is good. Having demand and giving people just a little bit under what they need, you'd be surprised what it does for your product. And having a queue is actually a good thing. You want the demand to be high. You don't want to go in Cyrodiil with no queues because guess what? No one's playing it. You want that thing to be jam-packed full. And for me, I think priority queue would be an awesome idea.
I actually have to agree with Eloa on here because I've played those games where I was a non-sub person and I had to wait hours to have to do anything. And it's not fun. Like if you don't have that income, like obviously we do now, but if you don't have that income and you can't do that and you really want to do that specific event and you can't, it sucks. It sucks the life out of the game for you when you're sad and depressed, you don't want to play anymore. I don't know, I have to agree with Aloha.
It's a double-edged sword, but I agree with Deltia.
Okay, man versus woman.
Well, it's a business model. It's a business.
I agree with him. Like, I did the Arcade thing. I tried it out. I was in alpha, blah blah blah. So I got like a bunch of access for free, and it did suck because I'm sitting there like I'm 500 in queue, and I look patron 500 in queue. Man, an hour and a half wait. Non-patron 8,000 in queue. Estimated time like that was pretty rough. But if you're talking about a game like this, game is doing this to make money.
Right, it's a business.
If you only do PvP, there's no, like, if they release a DLC for, we'll just say the Clockwork City, I bet you that's going to be PvE. I don't care. I don't do anything but PvP. I'm not buying it. You know, how much use are mini pets and costumes and stuff like that in PvP? I don't know. I think they kind of block costumes, or they might. I can't remember.
No.
Well, even so, it's like if you're only doing PvP, there's no reason for you to sub.
There's
There's no reason for
zero
you to
reason.
buy crowns. There's no reason for you to do anything really.
Nope.
Because even PvP players, honestly, Delta, you can probably the max majority of PvP players don't care about mounts. They don't care about vanity pets. They just like to smash things.
Whatever is
don't
going to make
care.
you more powerful.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna spend crowns on a Guar pet. I have a horse. It's maxed. I don't care. It's fastest speed. That's all I need. You know what I mean?
Well, why would
Yeah,
you sub? There's zero incentive if you don't have a priority queue or an AP gain advantage,
Yeah.
which I
And-
think is pay to win, but I can see that coming in. I really can. I can see 10% AP gain versus non-subs.
Oh yes, they have said that they will explore that. Will someone say?
That means
Makes
they're going to do
summer-
it. That means they're going to do it.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Okay. The other part of the question I want to ask is 100 crowns per month of subscription.
Oh, that's complete BS. That's BS. You
But-
know it is.
I do, but again, on the side of ZeniMax playing devil's advocate, if they want to make money, if they made it more than that, we'd
No
be able
one-
to
we'd buy everything,
off their
yeah.
store without actually having to buy crowns.
I think what they should do is give us a 1-year loyalty pet that absolutely no one else can get. You can't buy in the crown store. If they do that, I don't care about the $100 crown, the 100 crowns a month. Give us a loyalty pet like a black grizzly bear or something
Well,
that no one
that-
else can ride.
With that being said, they already did say the people who are sub for 12 months will get a special mount. Or, well, they said they would be able
They
to
said
ride
a
it.
special mount, don't Star Wars it and just sell it 1 month later.
I hope not, but see, the only way, like, from what I heard, is the only way you'd be able to get it is if you were sub the entire time, and that it won't be available to anyone else.
Yeah, but you know how those things work. 2 weeks later, they'll sell it.
You know, that is how things work. But, you know, we would be, like, I've been subbed, Thais has been subbed. Like, I did 6 months each time. I've already done a year. Like, yeah, I have 179 days left on my thing, but I did 6 months and then 6 months. So I have 12 months of sub before it went. So I will actually would be getting that. I know Deltia is the same way. You do too. I did both of ours.
But the crowns, basically, they're going to be $1, and we're going to find out next week what they are. 100 probably is $1, or like 90%. It's going to be a little bit off of $1, but it will essentially will be $1. I guarantee you. And so they're giving us a reward for subbing. I think it's like $500 a month. I forget what it is. So they're essentially giving you $5 back of your $15 sub fee. Like Star Wars. It's basically
Sure.
just like Star Wars. The problem is Star Wars gave you a huge amount for subbing previously, where this is giving you like just, I mean, 100? Dude, that's a little low. I don't like that. I do not. That's a slap in the face for your customers. Unless the 1-year pet is just absolutely mind-blowingly cool.
Right. But then they have to stick to their word and make it that only the people who've been subbing get it and not.
Right, but I don't want to start ragging on them. I love this game and I love this property. I love the IP, but I can see the business model. Back to Aloha and you guys talking. You know, you saw their face when they had to announce this. Quote, Paul Sage, we'd rather shut it down than go free to play. End quote. We're going free to play because this is the best thing for our game.
I swear Matt Firer and Paul Sage didn't even look at the camera. Like their heads were down the entire time.
And what's up with Paul Sage shirt, yo? Can I get that as a costume? Can we
Yeah,
get hashtag Paul
Well,
Sage shirt?
well, hey, you know what they said? They've already went back on their word a couple times. He said there would never be a Paul Sage pet. Well, maybe there will be now in the ground store.
Oh, there will be a Paul Sage
Oh.
mini pet. They've done better than other games, but now it's like, all right, guys, all right, let's not.
They've done better than other games, but we've also quote unquote blindly followed. Now we're starting to see, and I have faith in them, but they now have to. You know, I won't White Knight as much as I did before. They now have to prove that they are the best developers out there. I have hope they are, but they now have to prove it because my faith's a little shaken. With that being said, let's go ahead and let's do our final thoughts for this show.
Yeah, because Shepard's getting naughty.
Yeah, right. This has been a fairly long episode, and thank you guys so much for coming on. Thais, you get the honor of going first. Give us your final thoughts for this episode. And
I just want to mention one thing. If anyone heard like a thump, it's from his cat falling asleep and hitting her head on the desk. Just had to point that out. Great show. Kind of an emotional episode. You know, like lots of interesting things. I am kind of excited to see what they bring to the cash up in the future.
Oh yeah, you're gonna buy stuff.
Oh, I know. I am like the worst buy to play, free to play person because I will buy anything. If it sparkles, if it's pretty, the Guarmel, I'm gonna want like 20.
There are a bunch of Guar. There's like 5 different kinds at launch.
I'm gonna need each color. They're all gonna have their own names. It's gonna be fun. I mean, it's sad that it's going with this model, but it'll be fun. So it's good. And the reading, I can't wait to do next week's. I bet
fun.
it's gonna be even more. Okay.
Aloha, how about you?
Thank you very much to have invited me. I really wanted to discuss about this, and I thank you to have given me the occasion to discuss with you guys about this subject. I'm not despaired, and I'm kind of hopeful. I think we need to be patient, but I'm someone very patient, so it's not a problem for me. But I have the feeling that we might have. I'm kind of excited about what we will have as download pack. What will they imagine? What will we get if we will get new dungeon, new stuff like this? And I really hope that their main revenue will come from this. So they will feel encouraged and forced to offer good content. A buy-to-play model, it's something where I feel a bit insecure because you can always think that the company will slip into a greedy stage step by step and years after years. But it can also be the occasion for ZeniMax to flourish and to see the Elder Scrolls Online going out and have the success that it deserves, and that we will get back the fruits of our efforts and our faithfulness and loyalty.
Excellent. And Deltia, good sir, tell us your final thoughts.
You know, businesses aren't charities. There's called profit and non-profit type of business, and this is a for-profit business. They ultimately have to do what's best for the business. I'm personally excited about it. I think it will give a lot more people access to a game that we know and love. And yeah, I was a little, taken aback when they announced it, even though we saw this coming. The developers are good. And the pay-to-win stuff, as long as that's not in the game, and yes, I know a little bit of it will be, don't make it 15% more experience. Don't make it 20% more AP as a sub. Don't do that sort of stuff. Make all the fluffy bunny pets you want. Great, I'll buy them. I probably will. I'll probably make videos on them and just be happier than a pig and you know what. But at the same time, keep the integrity of the game strong, and I'll be around for a very long time.
Excellent thoughts. I do want to thank all my co-hosts for joining me this evening. You guys are great. Definitely come back next week. We have more special guests lined up. As long as nothing changes, we have Nate Langston. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Coming on next week.
You're a fanboy of Nate, right?
We weren't sure if Thais was actually going to be here this week, so I invited him for next week because he wanted to hop on, but she would absolutely kill me if I had a British guy on the show and she wasn't here.
I would. That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
So tentatively he's going to be on next week. That'll be exciting, and we may have a few more guest hosts on as well. We'll have to see. I have a few people who wanted to come on, and I'll have to work with them. So it should be a good show next week as well. Follow us then. As for my final thoughts, I'm dead against this. And you guys know I am. I mean, when I got into Guild Wars 2 as a buy-to-play game, I knew what I was I didn't really know what I was getting into, but I can't blame them for the type of content because I bought into it, and they didn't offer the content that they had. And they said that time and time again. I just refused to believe. But now I'm scared for the game that I do love, and I like to look as myself as I am hopeful that they will prove me wrong and be amazing, but I'm planning for the worst. Praying for the best, planning for the worst, just in case, because, I don't want to be devastated yet again. But I do have, if any company could do this, make a buy-to-play transition, and it be better than the sub, I believe these guys could do it, as long as they value content over cash. I know as a business it's rough, but they need to develop content before they waste a lot of things on Sparkle Ponies. Sparkle Ponies are fine, but there's got to be a balance between when you release meaningful content and when you try to get your $5 from everyone for a Sparkle Bar. That's how it needs to be. So those are my thoughts. Definitely come back. We will continue to cover and talk about ESO, the game that we love, for at least the foreseeable future until we're proven right or wrong.